Is anybody there? There you are. Alright! Stephen Johnson stocks. Big announcement at the end of the video. Life is going crazy right now. But let's get into it. I just want to say and get serious for a minute that in life, you have moments and you have to make decisions that are like intrinsically linked to your personal identity. And it's stuff like, what do I want to be when I grow up? Who will I choose as friends? What do I want to be good at? Like, who will my wife be? I mean, or boyfriend. Like, I love gay people. And these decisions shape your identity. And trading is exactly the same. There's so many ways to make money in the market. And it takes education. I trade with Tim Sykes, referrals down there. And it takes market time. And I have found how to make money through stock trading now. And I am a momentum trader. And I have defined who I am as a trader now, just like you define who you are as a person. And I just want to say that when I first made YouTube videos, I was like quivering with anxiety in the corner. I've been like, oh, no one's going to watch this. Who would give a fuck about this? I'm just about to pass 100,000 views. And then we'll be on to 1 million. I should pass 100,000 this week. And it's all thanks to you guys. So Rajnish, great video, bro. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the support. Deep, thank you as always, man. Can't wait to try out the RSI and AMAs. Dude, awesome. Really love that you're there and supporting. Good Merton, good stuff. The Mika Bra, the Prata Svenska. You Swedish man. You're my favorite Swedish person, and I like you a lot more than me Swedish ex. John Wilson, better and better content, laugh every time. I like that I can bring some light to life. So that is wonderful. Big announcement at the end of this video, by the way, so watch it till the end. And I'll talk you through some stats. And I just want to say that I will say to you now, I believe that next month I can make 500 bucks. And that's a pledge I'm making right now. Next month I think I'll make 500 bucks because I know how to trade, and I'll get into that in the next section. Everyone's going to be like, especially all the dumb reject haters who hate success, they're going to be like, well, how does he make money trading? How's he going to make 500 bucks? Well, let me just explain it. So these are the winning percentages. Winning percentage is 43%. I'm pretty much closing the month now. I don't think I'll trade in the next few days over the weekend. So down $415 over 30 trades. The commissions was actually the cost of all of those trades was $420. So I actually took money from the market, but I over traded a little bit and got really sloppy towards the end of the month. But losing less than normal, winning record month, best month I've ever had trading. Even when I had this lucky month here, I've surpassed that. So really solid month-on-month progress. And I say I know how to make money in the market now because let me talk you through the trades. Like, I learned what works for me and how I can take money from the market. And it's buying these kind of multi-day breakouts or sometimes intraday breakouts, but that's kind of gambling a little bit. And it's like BIOC, IMMU, profits, ZAIS. It was a quiet day and I got really bored and I just traded and lost out of stupidity. But then I went on ZSAN, NVAX, ZSAN, like CNAB, just constantly like looking for the U-shapes, looking for the bull flags, just like Eric does in buying. And then, I mean, this is like, I mean, what run is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 out of 7 green trades in a row. And like, compared to the fact that I used to make two winning trades in a month, like every single month I make 2 and lose 12. Like, this is obviously winning 7 out of 8 it's a sign that you know what you're doing. And then I changed my style and started having wider stop losses, lost a couple of trades, and then I went on this terrible streak of just basically gambling to try and make money back. But I know what I'm doing now. I know how to make money in the market. So it's just a case of being disciplined next month, trading a bit less, trading the better setups, and I will make that 500 bucks. Okay, so this is BTUUQ. Its long-term history is absolutely horrible. It's actually a bankrupt stock. When you look into the fundamentals, it has some assets, but it owes like 12 billion out or something like that. I can't remember the actual number. But I'm not too concerned about the fundamentals. I know the company's absolute junk, but I know that it has a tendency to gap up and run 3 days here, like, and then it crashed, and then it gapped up and ran 3 days here, then it crashed. And then when it had this kind of big volume day of like 1.3 million shares, it was the biggest, most shares that it traded kind of this month, at least till the start of the month. And it was closing strong, and I knew it could run multiple days. I think it was an earnings winner. It was showing up as on stocks to trade as well, which is another thing it kind of had going for it. So when it was closing strong here, this was yesterday, the day before, I thought, well, look, what have I got to lose by buying it at like 218? It's held its highs. I mean, at worst, I'm going to lose 5 cents if it goes down to 213. And I was like, I'll just buy it, and if it breaks 215, I'll be out the next day. But it's got a history of running 3 days, remember. So I was in at 218, and then today, we'll just go to a 2 minute or a 1 minute so you can see clear. Maybe 1 minute's better for you guys because it's more familiar. Today, it gapped immediately up to 240, and by the way, this was a very small position because I'm still trying new things out, and this isn't a pattern I'm too familiar with, so I played it a bit smaller. It opened at 240, slammed down, well, I say slammed, it dropped down to 233. So I was thinking, I'm not getting out. I'm in this for the big picture. I'm in this for the bigger breakup. I'm not going to get scared out. I deliberately got in a small position so I could run this, let this run. And I sold some at the 230s in case it did just crash. I thought I'll take some profits. And then it kind of ran, dipped back down, and then finally ran. And I watched it go all the way up to the 260s when it started to kind of struggle in the 258s. I sold in 258, took about 16% profit, $50, and then it immediately went up to the 60s, which was a shame. But the reason I took the profits is because, again, I think this is an OTC, and with OTCs, they can slam down on low volume and you can't get out. So I'm glad I took the profit. Now, MBOT, I just come off the back of like 8 or 7 green trades out of 7 out of the last 9 trades were green or something. This was gapping up and running. I think it had a history in the past of, it kind of gaps up the next day. Like here it gapped up the next day. Here it kind of didn't, but here it closed really down. I think I misread this pattern, which is quite scary. Yeah, I had a feeling this would gap up the next day, but there's not really any evidence of it. It did once, but that's it. I think I totally misread the pattern, which is fucking quite bad. No wonder I lost money on it. Read the patterns more carefully. But anyway, I was very confident, thinking that I knew everything because I was winning constantly. And I was looking at ways to optimize my trading to get even better, to make even more money. And this is how people fucking think, and this is how you lose. And so this is the stock. It ran lots of opportunities to get in here. Let us just show you the full picture. Yeah. Cool, this looks very cool. Lots of nice annotation on stocks to trade, I like it. So, runs, pullback, run, pullback. Generally, the third pullback, it's fucked. But it flagged down, first bull flag, and then it had another run, and then another bull flag. And I was like, okay, I've seen stocks like this before, and then it tried one last push, came back down. I was like, I've seen stocks like this before, it looks pretty solid. I'm going to take a small position, have a wide stop loss, and I'll risk down to the 830s. And it's not a big loss, it's like only losing $40 or something. And I was like, and if it breaks 10, I'm going to make like a few $100. And these stocks, 50% of the time they break down and 50% of the time they break out, in my experience. And the insane thing was, I was actually up about 15% in the 990s, but because I was so sure it was going to break 10 for some crazy reason, I don't even know why now, because I misread the long-term chart. I thought it had a history of gapping up the next day and it could continue, but I misread the chart. So when it failed to break 10, this is a double top, and the stock's going to break down for the rest of the day often. And I was just like, whatever, I'm going to watch it bounce. It'll try again. It's going to make it. I fell in love with the stock basically. And then when it cracked, this is when, I mean, ideally when it's not broke 10 and then it's back down here and it cracks, you want to get out immediately. Because it's double topped and it's cracked support. It's like every sign is like a short seller's dream. But I somehow bought more shares, and I don't know why. Because I just thought it was the right stock. I don't know why. And then I watched it come all the way down to this next level of support. wherever it was. I watched it. It was here. Yeah, I watched it come down here, and then it started breaking support here, and I was just like, I have to get out now. This is insane. I'm down loads, and I lost $100. Now, KBSF is a name that I'm going to remember for a long, long time because it goes up there with the classic losses of, I think it was AVEO, and there's one other, and KBSF. I can't remember the ticker's name, but yeah, there's a couple of losses for me that stick in my head, and this is definitely one of them. And it's sad because I called it right. It runs, crashes, penny stocking framework pattern in Tim's DVD. You've got the 3 the run, the 4 the slams to the floor, and then 5's the bounce. And generally after the bounce, there's another green day, and there was another green day. So how did I lose money? Well, let me show you. This stock is extraordinarily illiquid, so you can be buying it in the 720s and it can easily go back down to the 6s. And I took a big position in an illiquid stock, which was really a moronic thing to do because you can't get out with them. And like when it didn't open strong, because I thought maybe it'll gap up and run the next day, but when it didn't open strong and it kind of washed out, I was just like, fuck, I'm getting out. Took like $100 loss. And then it bounced off the 200-day moving average and ran to the 860s, which would have been a $300 win. So don't even, like, this was a tight lesson because I was like, I know the pattern, it's going to work, it always works. Tim taught us this, but the mistake I made was it doesn't matter if the pattern comes true. If it's in a liquid stock, there's an extra element of risk there because you can't get out. And so, I mean, I could have probably got out when it didn't gap up, but I was like, just wait and see what happens. It could happen still. And when it was dropping, I was like, just get out. So sad, but salary, this is life. I'm not buying liquid stocks anymore. The big news is that I am going to be interviewing 2 very, very well-known top traders. Both made thousands of dollars. So I'm looking forward to running those interviews. I'll not say who they are just yet until I've got the interviews nailed down and done. And it's just month on month. Like, let's have a better month again next month. It's really, really coming together. And guys, if you say to us, why are you losing money in the market? Dude, I do not care about losing $300. Like, honestly, I don't care. It's enjoyment and fun for me. And I was on a date last night and I probably spent about 200 anyway. Not loads, maybe 150, 200 anyway on a date. So losing 400 in a month doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that because I've got money, because I don't. I'm like just the same as everyone else. I certainly do not come from a rich background, very working class. But I was on a date last night and I got in this morning and I thought I'll make this video, and I still felt drunk because I got wasted with this girl. So I'll play you out with the end that I originally made because it's funny, but I'll see you later. Okay guys, and I am ending this on the balcony, and I want to say to you that if you feel my message, if you feel what I'm feeling, then I want you to say I'm a doer in the comments box, because I have found that by doing things, by being practical, you can fucking make a difference. So I want you to say I'm a doer. I'm a doer. I'm a